there, fellow foodies. I am Amy from A Red Spatula. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. In this tutorial today, we are going to talk all about how to sprout whole grains. If you have felt intimidated by this process, let me break it down for you and show you that it's going to be a lot easier than what you might think. Now, before we get into any of the details of sprouting, we need to talk about safety first. Sprouting creates an environment that is perfect for bacterial growth. So there are a few things that we need to know before we ever get into it. The first is start with clean equipment. Make sure that your sprouting containers, your lids, everything that they're clean. I also like to make sure that I'm buying my whole grains from a reputable source, and I will link these in the description below. Now, as we get into this, of course, if you have any comments or questions for me, be sure to drop them down in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe. You are not going to want to miss any of these new videos that are coming out. Okay, so the first thing to know is we've got to work with whole grains. That means that the bran, germ, and endosperm are all intact. Pearled and hulled varieties of grains just won't work. Once you have your grains, what we're going to do is make sure that our containers are clean, just like I talked about, and I like to just wash them by hand. They don't need to be sterilized, but just a good washing, or if you want to throw them in the dishwasher, both the containers and your lids. And I like to use mason jars. They're clear, you can see what's going on, but you can also use Tupperware containers or any other container that you're able to clean. And once that's cleaned and ready, then we're going to add in our grains, and then we'll cover the grains with several inches of water. We let this sit for 4 to 6 hours, and this is just the beginning process. This hydrates our grain and prepares them for sprouting. Now, some people I've seen, they say to do it for 12 hours. I find this a little bit excessive. I think that 4 to 6 hours works really well. And this is a sprouting lid that I use too. These are very inexpensive. I'll link these. I like these, but if you don't have them, you can also use cheesecloth or something like that. And you want to store it in a dark place. That helps them to sprout more quickly. And then once your 4 to 6 hours are up, you want to drain all the water off of your grains, just like I'm showing right here. This is the first hydration. And then one thing that's really cool about these lids is you can set them upside down on your plates, which is what I stored them. The water will drain off. If you use cheesecloth, you just have to set it at an angle in a bowl. Now, this is part of the process. It takes a little while, but what you want to do is every 4 to 6 hours, you want to rinse your grains with water. Drain it off. You can see I'm swirling it. This cleans all the grains that are in there. I do this every 4 to 6 hours, except when I'm sleeping, of course, I don't worry about it until the grains have sprouted to the size that I want. Once they're done, you just drain it really well and you move it back into your dark place, which for me is in my pantry. I put it on a shelf back there and I tuck it away. Now, this is what the grains look like. I'll show you right here. After 24 hours, you can see that they have already sprouted out. I love them like this. They're already chewy, they're soft, but if you want to go even longer to where it's more like what you would think of like an alfalfa sprout or something, this is 30 hours later. You can see the tail is a lot longer on these. And you just repeat that same process. You just rinse every few hours, leave them overnight, and make sure that they're in a dark place. I'm telling you, this is such an easy process and probably so much easier than what you might think. Now, one thing to note is once the grains are sprouted, they do not have a very long shelf life. So you're going to want to use these within a day or two. And then whatever you don't use kind of right away, you want to make sure that you put it in the refrigerator. You want to stop that growth. You want to stop any bacteria that's in it. And these are perfect for throwing on salads, probably is my favorite way to use them, but you can also add them to wraps, you can add them to sandwiches, you can throw them even in your smoothies, you can throw them in your energy balls. Just make sure, of course, to remember safety. Start with clean sprouting containers, lids, and then as soon as it's sprouted, move it right into the refrigerator or into a cool place. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, and happy sprouting.